Talk, shop, pop, movies.
Ahoy there, this is Derek, the Convicted Cinephile, and if you're a convicted cinephile yourself, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. On my channel, I like to talk, shop, and pop open, that is, movies and physical media. And today, I was going to do this last night, but I just didn't have a chance. Forgot to share my screen here. To do my final award season, there it is, predictions for the Critics' Choice Awards, which are tonight. So, I was hoping to do it last night instead of this morning. It's on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's early by like an hour for most award shows. So for me, it's like 6 p.m. to 9 o'clock. It's on tonight, and it's on the CW channel, so anyone with a TV and a paperclip can watch it. Yes, that works, and it's a nice ghetto rig to watch local TV channels if you don't have antenna or cable. Anyways, thanks for being here. If you are, please like, share, subscribe, like the thing on the bottom says to do. I finally discovered how to do that because it's on a different menu than the rest of the things, which makes no sense to me. Why isn't it on the same menu as like the icons and the logos and the backgrounds? Me? Come on, StreamYard, get your shit together. So I have the Gold Derby on my second screen here, Critics' Choice nominations. I think I have them all finalized, but I'm just going to go over them with you. I'll make some last minute changes, perhaps. Probably changing from a right answer to a wrong answer because that's typically what I would do at the last minute when I think too much and screw it up. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's not bad. I like that because then I'm so big. That's a little better. At least I'm not tucked away in the corner. This is if you have multiple people, you'd be on the left. That's what I do for the Oscar streams. Speaking of Oscar streams, on Thursday, I did my best picture of the 90s tournament. So thanks to anyone who watched that during or after the fact. And if you haven't, go check it out. It's like 3 hours long. Go for it. But it's interesting to see what me and my panelists had to say about each movie. I will be doing a similar stream, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, the 26th, on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going over the 2000 to 2009 decade with a slightly different panel of people. I'm trying to get at least one different person in there who I haven't had on there before each time. So we get different opinions on different movies. And there's 55 movies instead of 50 because that was 2009 where they introduced the 10 movie Best Picture category. So I would appreciate it if you watched it. Like I said, it's probably going to be about 3 hours long. Just like the award show, right? The only stream that's as long as the award show we're talking about. That's what I say. But let's get into the Critics' Choice film nominees. The left is what Gold Derby is predicting. The right is what I am predicting. And the funny thing is about the Best Picture category, there's usually 10 nominees, and they for some reason did 11 this year. So you got Poor Little Woman Talking over here at 13 to 1 odds, which may get in, but the it only lets you put 10 movies in just because that's how many there should be, so it's kind of goofy. And there was like some weird glitch where for a while every single movie had 100 to 1 odds. So I'm going with Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yes, that is what they're thinking over here. Everything Everywhere is winning most of the Critics Awards Best Pictures. So if the Critics Awards are being true to themselves, this is what they should go for. Sometimes you just try to predict the Oscars, which in this case, this might be true. They might be boring and go Fablemans just because they think that's what the Oscars are going to do. But if they, think for themselves, it's either going to be Everything Everywhere, Banshees, or Tar, because those are the three movies that win Best Picture at the Critics Awards this year. But every single one of my options is 100 to 1. So even if Women Talking gets in, it's only at 13 to 1. So I just think it's funny that they screwed it up. So no matter what wins, it's got 100 to 1 odds. It's kind of hilarious. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Everything Everywhere on that one. Director, they have 10 nominees for some reason. Here they have Spielberg as number one, which is once again, yes, he won the Globe, but that's literally the first thing he's won, essentially. He won the National Board of Review director and the Golden Globe director. He has won nothing else all year, especially Critics Awards. The people who have been winning Critics Awards are the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. So they should win this. And then Todd Field has won some here and there, and Martin McDonough. But it's overwhelmingly the Daniels winning the actual Critics Awards. So should they win the Critics' Choice Awards? Yes, that would be logical. So I'm going to go with them, despite Spielberg being their pick. If Spielberg wins, it definitely just seems like a whatever. They're just trying to predict the Oscars kind of a thing. But who the hell knows? Maybe they'll be crazy and go for Todd Field. I go over the other nominees, but it's like there's 35 nominees, and like only one can win, and it's not going to be at least half of those. Best Actress. They have 6 nominations for the acting categories here, which is good for predicting the Oscar nominees. They're good at doing that because they have extra nominees. It's amazing how accurate they are. They have Michelle Yeoh on top. That's who I am going for. Like I said, that's the critics' movie pick. Kate Blanchett could just as easily win. I wouldn't be surprised either way. If it's anyone but these two, I'd be surprised. They have Margot Robbie in here for Babylon, who did not get in at SAG. Neither did Michelle Williams, surprisingly. More surprisingly, I should say. I'm going to actually switch her odds here and get more points out of her. Viola Davis seems like a sure thing at this point. No one really thought she'd get in everywhere, and she has been getting in everywhere, so I won't be surprised if she got into the Oscars. But that's a different stream. So I'm going for Michelle Yeoh, and I will be not surprised whatsoever if Kate Blanchett wins, but it'll be more fun to watch if Michelle Yeoh wins. Just saying. And that goes for the Oscar too. Best Actor. This one is one of the hard ones. Paul Mescal got in for After Sun. I think I'm going with him as my number 5 for the Oscars. It doesn't seem like Tom Cruise is going to make it if he didn't get Globe or SAG, but he's going to get a nomination for Best Picture for Top Gun regardless. So either way, he's an Oscar nominee this year. Let's think of it that way. Colin Farrell has won essentially damn near all of the Critics' Choice or Critics' Awards, Best Actor awards. It would make no sense if he didn't win here. I could see Brendan Fraser winning just because the movie's kind of coming out a little later and people are finally watching it. But Banshees has been around a little while. Austin Butler winning for Elvis totally just seems like we're trying to predict the Oscars, and that's what the Golden Globes did, kind of thing. But Colin Farrell, I'm trying to remember. There's 4 major critics awards, not including this one. There's like the New York's Film Critics, the LA, National Society of Film Critics, and for some reason I'm trying to think of one other one that I forget what the 4th one is. Anyways, Colin Farrell won all 4 of those, and only 2 other times in history has that happened, and both of those people went on to win the Oscar. So Colin Farrell has a damn good chance of winning, and I would be fine with that because he's great. And he had a great year. He's been in 4 movies this year, and they're all really good and very different. So it's a good year to award him for both this movie and for what he did all year and his career in general. So he's kind of the perfect person to win if you consider all those things. But like I said before, the critics have been picking Colin Farrell. So the critics should pick Colin Farrell to win this one that is voted on by critics. So I'm going to go with him. If Brendan Fraser wins, I'll be ecstatic because I really want him to win the Oscar. I'd be more than happy if Colin won. I'd be a little ticked if Austin Butler won, to be honest with you. As great as he is in that movie, but he's like the only good thing about that movie. Supporting actress. They have Angela Bassett winning now, who is a shoe-in now for the Oscar after getting SAG. I'll put it that way. So 4 of these 6 are SAG nominees, these top 4. So it's probably going to be one of these 4 that wins. Duh. I have Carrie Condon because they love Banshees and she's great in Banshees, and critics specifically really love Banshees. Not so much Black Panther. She could easily win. I mean, I'm kind of just going with the actual critics' choice for these, and the actual critics' choice for supporting actress has been Carrie Condon, from what I recall. Stephanie Shu could win. That would be awesome. If Angela Bassett wins, cool. Angela Bassett winning awards, nothing wrong with that. But and supporting actor, this is like the only easy one out of all of them. That's Ke Huy Quan. All the way. He again has been winning essentially all of the critics awards for supporting actor. Brendan Gleeson has won some here and there too, and that's pretty much it as far as people actually winning stuff. Give or take a few random ones. But yeah, Ke Huy Quan. If him and Brendan Fraser win, I've said it again, it's the most adorable pair of male acting wins the Oscars in history, and I want that to happen. And they were both an Encino Man. I forgot that Ke Huy Quan was an Encino Man until I saw someone I'm friends with on Instagram and YouTube share it the other day. I was like, holy shit, that's hilarious. Because I just watched it pretty recently and I didn't really realize it was him. He was in that weird age where he's not young enough, like in Goonies, where you know him right away. And he doesn't look like he does now, obviously. It was 30 years ago. So it's just funny. It's like, oh, it's a little teenage, 20-year-old or so. Yu Kwan. It's adorable. Original screenplay, they could easily go Everything Everywhere All at Once, but I think this is like the one thing Banshees should win. Like even at the Oscars, if Banshees only wins one award, it's going to be original screenplay. So I'm just going to stick with that. I wouldn't be surprised if Everything Everywhere won, but I'm going with Banshees, especially if Everything Everywhere's director and picture had at least one acting award. I think then it's pretty good to give Banshees a screenplay. Adapted screenplay is a bitch of a category. I'm gonna go with Women Talking because they at least nominated that for Best Picture. It didn't get in at the PGA. The Whale did, which helped the Whale's chances at the Oscars for screenplay. She said seems to be falling out of the race completely. If it does get in at the Oscars, it'll probably only be for screenplay. It's such a weird category this year. Like Top Gun could make it in at the Oscars of all things. All Quiet on the Western Front could sneak into adapted screenplay. So I'm gonna go with Women Talking until it loses. Just put it that way. Once it starts losing things, then I'll change my prediction for later on. Ensemble. Out of all the SAG nominees, I think they have how many of them? Four. So they got six nominees here. Four of the five SAG ones. We got Everything Everywhere, Women Talking, Banshees, Fablemans, and then they got Woman King, which I thought was getting in at the what's it called? SAG Awards. So they missed Babylon. Essentially, is what they missed, or didn't miss, but that's what the crossover ends there. I think Everything Everywhere is going to win SAG. I think even if it does win tonight at the Critics' Choice Awards, its SAG win for Ensemble is the thing it's always needed to win Best Picture in reality at the Oscars. So the Ensemble is the safe pick, I think, for that. But once again, like Banshees is amazing, and if they don't give any Banshees actors an individual award, that would be a good one to give to Banshees because they can all get one. So if that ends up happening, let's see if Kerry Condon loses and Colin Farrell loses, and then they give that um, ensemble to award everybody. I could see that because you're giving it to the four nominated actors and nobody else. So in that scenario, I'd be happy with Banshees winning that. Young actor or actress. Obviously, this is not a Oscar category. I'm going to sneeze here. Hold on. I'm saying hold on. Like I'm not going to edit this out. But I might not. Who knows? Young actor, actress. We have Gabriella Bell, who plays little Steven Spielberg, essentially in The Fablemans. Frankie Corio for Aftersun. I hear she's amazing. Sadie Sink in The Whale. Jalen Hall for Till. Um, Bella Ramsey for Catherine Called Birdie. And Banks Rapita for Armageddon Time. I'm going with what they're going with, which is Gabriella Bell. It's the most seen movie out of all these. And I've heard he's really good in it. Like he could get nominated and not a lot of people would complain in lead actor kind of a thing. And Frankie Corio is probably in second place for sure. Sadie Sink, a lot of people love and a lot of people hate her in that movie. So the nomination is a win on that one, I think. This is a weird category, comedy film, because a lot of them are Best Picture nominees, well, at least the top half. Got Everything Everywhere, Banshees, Glass Onion, Triangle of Sadness, Bros, and Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Yeah. I've seen 4 of these 6, so that's pretty good. I want to see Triangle of Sadness. I just heard yesterday it's getting a Criterion. Criterion. I give up. Criterion Collection release. Yeah, so I might end up just buying that when it comes out, but I don't know when that's coming out. It could be like 6 months from now. Hopefully, it's in November or July, right in time for the half off Criterion sale. Same thing goes for Moon Age Daydream. That was another one they announced, and Petite Maman, and one other one. They announced a lot of like recent movies just yesterday, so look that up. Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, I'd be surprised if it wins Best Picture. I'd be kind of surprised if it also won this. So it might go to Banshees, but if Banshees wins Best Picture, then it would go to this. So I'm just kind of hedging my bets and just like I'll just pick Everything Everywhere for both, and it'll probably win one or the other. You know what I mean? So it's one of those categories I could care less if I get it wrong. Put it that way. Animated feature, we have Pinocchio, Marcel the Show with Shoes On, Turning Red, Puss in Boots, which are guaranteed to get into the Oscars, and then the fifth slot that could go to any animated movie that came out this year is Wendell and Wild. Pinocchio is going to win. So yeah. And if it doesn't, that's crazy. Marcel at the Critics' Choice Awards, Marcel could win because critics do really like Marcel, but I still think they'll go for Pinocchio. Best foreign film, RRR is the cool hip thing to like at the moment. At least it was a month ago when it was getting nominated for stuff. Let's put it that way. So I'm going for that to win. But All Quiet on the Western Front has 15 BAFTA shortlist nominations and several Oscar shortlist nominations. You know, out of the few categories that do shortlists, they're on like half of them. So, and it's really good. I did really enjoy that. Decision to Leave. Argentina 1985, the only surprise win at the Golden Globes, maybe outside of Angela Bassett, which was like semi surprising. Close and Bardo. It's probably going to be all RRR, All Quiet, but I'll go with RRR for now because what the hell? People's critics seem to like it a lot. So they were pushing for it to get in for everything, and it can't win at the Oscars. So something to give it. I was surprised it lost at the Globes though, especially once it won song. Cinematography: Top Gun, Avatar, Fablemans, Babylon, Empire of Light, and Tar. Um, yeah, I think only two of these got in at the ASC. Am I wrong? Top Gun and Empire of Light did. Tar didn't, and I was surprised. Fablemans, I don't think did. Babylon, I don't think did. It was Batman, which I'm glad got in, and then two other things. And Bardo, something else. I can't remember. But Top Gun has been winning every single critics award for screenplay, essentially, except for like a couple that went for Nope, and Nope isn't even on the short list, I don't think. Or Nope is probably not going to get nominated. Let's put it that way. It deserves to, but it's probably not. So I'm going to go Top Gun all the way for cinematography. It's going to be the tech sweeper of the year, most likely. Costume design, I have no idea what the hell to do here. All of these got nominated at the Costume Design Guild, so they're all good choices. They're going Black Panther. I guess I'll just go Black Panther. I don't. This is one of the categories where mm, out of, I just don't really care what wins. If like something like Everything Everywhere did end up winning here, I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. But and Babylon is good. Like I don't know. I like costume design. It's just one of those where it's like they're all good nominees, so I don't really care what wins. As long as there's not something on there that I hate and that wins, then I'm happy. For that kind of category. Like cinematography, they're all good. You can't go wrong. Editing, Top Gun Maverick and Everything Everywhere are essentially the only two that have a chance of winning, in my opinion. But otherwise, they're good nominations all around. I have not seen Avatar yet, but I'm sure it's edited fine. Probably could have been edited shorter, but it's probably fine. Um, Once again, Top Gun is probably going to win sound, and sound and editing go together, at least at the Oscars, like every year nowadays. So at the Oscars, I'm going to pick Top Gun for editing and sound. Here, I don't think they have a sound category at Critics' Choice, which is weird because they have so many other extra weird categories. But I'm just gonna go with Top Gun, and then I'll be happy if Everything Everywhere wins instead. One of those things. But I'd be fine with Top Gun winning. Lot of footage to cut for Top Gun. There's an absurd amount of shooting that was done. Makeup and hair, they have Elvis on top. This is another one of those categories where if basically anything won, I'd be okay with it. I really want the whale to win because I just wanted to get something and get attention. I'm glad Batman's here. If that one, that'd be sweet. That's good too. And Everything Everywhere is cool makeup. Babylon, they're all good. Uh, it's one of those. I'll go with Elvis because that's what their pick is. But if the whale wins or Batman wins instead, I'll be very happy because I would prefer those to win. But I'll go with Elvis for now. The score, I have Babylon. It won at the Golden Globes. It has the most score out of all of these. At least they were smart and nominated the Batman for score because it was not on the short list at the Oscars, which pisses me off. It was the one thing on there that made me angry because the Batman has an amazing score. All Quiet on the Western Front has a similar, also amazing score, and I think that's on the short list for the Oscars. So hopefully that'll get in instead because it reminded me of the Batman score kind of. So maybe that can get in instead. But yeah, Babylon for score just seems obvious to me, honestly. If they want to give it to John Williams because he's John Williams, sure, whatever. Best song, um, I think I had Hold My Hand up until yesterday, and I flipped them. I don't think they care enough about Lady Gaga to just give it to her for no reason. I think they're going to go for the thing that was in their best director lineup and their best foreign, and that's the other reason I'm picking RRR as foreign film because they got nominated for best director, even though there's 10 nominees. But it's still impressive. The guy, the Top Gun director, didn't get in, Kaczynski, and he got in at the DGA, and he couldn't even get in here with 10 nominations. So that was kind of funny. So I'll go with RRR here. And it won at the Globes, so that doesn't hurt, right? It's like the only song that's not an end credit song too, so that's always my preferred winner. Production design, they have Avatar, I have Avatar. Like Avatar won production design at the Oscars, the first Avatar. So did Black Panther. Babylon, I don't know. I like fantasy like production design, but when it's like all CG, and like I know someone had to design it, so their effort does go into it. But like, how much did they design for Avatar that wasn't already designed for the first Avatar? I guess. I think it's all kind of an extension of the same design. Same thing goes for Black Panther, except for like the Atlantis stuff. Babylon is actual like physical production design, so I prefer that. And Everything Everywhere just has a lot of fun production design elements in here and there. So I'll go with Avatar because they are, but another one where I'm like, I don't really care what wins that category. They're all good or bad. Visual effects. Yeah, if it's not Avatar, it'd be amazing. So I'm happy Everything Everywhere's here because it's not shortlisted at the Oscars, and it should have been, but they were snooty and probably didn't want to award the team of like 9 people who aren't like visual effects people who worked on the movie and made it convincing. Top Gun doesn't have a lot of visual effects, but what's there is good. Black Panther, it looks better than the first one, and I haven't even watched the movie. Just from the trailer, it looks better than the first one. RRR, I think the visual effects look ridiculously bad. Like there's a lot of them, and they're cool, but fake animals piss me off in movies. I probably said that before, but good for them for being here. And Batman has great visual effects and lots of subtle backward, background stuff like that. Kind of like Dark Knight, where it was just like you didn't really know if it was there or not. I do like that kind of visual effects. I usually prefer it, like in like 1917 and stuff. Invisible effects, as they say. But I mean, in this case, if Avatar is going to win anything, it's this. And that is it for the Critics' Choice Awards. So those are my predictions. I need to go make breakfast and stuff. Speaking of breakfast, my wife went to this Asian mall we have that's like just open near us, and they have mochi donuts or whatever they're called, and they're amazing. If you haven't had them, go get them. Mm, food, okay. Strawberry shortcake donut. Uh, but let's just keep it there. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Like I said before, I will be watching the Critics' Choice Awards tonight. Obviously, I might do like a live recording of me reacting to each category. I try to do that, but then like my lighting's really bad in my living room, so it always looks like shit. So I'll probably end up just doing something tomorrow morning like this, or perhaps actually live, where I go over the winners and how I feel about them and all that stuff. Oscar nominations come out the 24th. I will be doing a live stream of that in the morning. Took the day off work and everything because I'm such a dork. The 26th on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be doing the 2000s Best Picture nominee tournament. And so the 2000 to 2009 films that were released those years, not the 2000 Oscars about the 1999 movies, just to not be confusing. The movies that were released in 2000 to 2009 that were nominated for Best Picture, pitted against each other to see which one wins. I really hope it isn't Avatar. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Talk, shop, pop, movies.